Hello, let's now continue. The effect of using train is that you can be able to carry more and more um, haulage. So, in order to be to attain the benefit of this, we made use. There is a project called EU-funded marathon. A trial in early 2014 as part of the EU-funded marathon project saw a 1,476 meter long of almost 4,000 ton freight train operating in France with one locomotive at the front of the train and another in the middle. So it's quite a long one. This is a picture of the train. Yeah, so you can, it's very long. It's a very long picture. Yeah, end to end, and it's like this is 1.5 kilometer. And there's another one, multimodal route in Rotterdam, Chengdu, that's China, via Kaliningrad. It passes through Russia. The Rotterdam Chengdu multimodal route via the port of Kaliningrad has become an established route for container transportation between Europe and China. In less than a month after the first test deliveries, 245 container trains departed from Kaliningrad to Chengdu. Another 40 shipments will be launched from Europe to China by the year's end. Lithuania wants to be a transit hub between Central Asia and Europe. This is another one. And this is another apps, logical. So let's write it down. And what's that? Logico, offered by Freightliner, can help to fill up available capacity, targeting smaller volume customers such as importers and exporters, and freight forwarders, to fill up space on container trains where the majority of available capacity is taken by major shipping lines. As you can see, major shipping lines cannot fill up exactly the container trains. There are some gaps, so in effect there are some air. As I said before, you should not transport air. So this particular example, Logico, offers this slot to people, to freight forwarders, so they can make use of this to transport their goods, their freight. Performance and service quality benefits. Remote condition monitoring of assets to prevent breakdown and delays in service is becoming increasingly common. Increasingly common. ICT application can be found in train planning, either to allow rail freight service providers to better utilize the resources or to provide a more tailored solution to match customer requirements. Better real-time communication between freight train drivers and the central control has also been made possible by mobile phones and tablet devices. The use of electronic slow-speed control equipment to allow trains to be loaded or unloaded on the move, cutting down on terminal time and yielding greater asset productivity. So this is one of them. And another benefit, these are some of the benefits. Performance and service quality benefits. The next is environmental and safety benefits. EcoTransit is a web-based. You see that? Trans IT, EcoTrans Ecotrans IT. Ecotrans IT is web-based with the option of graphical outputs relating to primary energy consumption, carbon dioxide emissions, nitrogen oxides emissions, etc., in order to assist in comparison of the impacts of the transport options. Enhanced rail freight intermodal control system. In the United Kingdom is another app which interfaces with TAPS to control the movement of containers and other unit loads across the network. Let me highlight that. So enhance rail freight intermodal control. Enhance rail freight intermodal control, or this is the RecLec for short. This is another app that enables people to monitor their system. It interfaces with TAPS. See? Enhanced rail freight intermodal control system in the UK. Alright, Eric supplies TAPS with details of container weights and heights to ensure that wagons are loaded safely and within the loading gates of the route over which a train will operate. It also provides information about dangerous goods carried in containers, including classifications and emergency contacts. So in effect, Eric is another form of a transaction system. One here is trust, a simple one, and you have here Eric as a more it talks about other transactions that are not caught by trust, and all of them goes to TAPS. Let's continue. The role of ICT for rail freight in the single European railway area is interoperability of communication systems and international rail freight operations. We have to take note of this. And international rail freight operations. So for the interoperability of communication systems, there is a European Rail Traffic Management System, unifies signaling and train speed control, overcoming the problems caused by having more than 20 different systems in existence across Europe. ERTMS will bring major benefits. Standardizing the multiple signaling systems in use will bring increased competitiveness, better interworkings of freight and passenger rail services, stimulate the European rail equipment market, reduce costs, and improve the overall quality of rail transport. So that's European Air Traffic Management System. See? Rail European Rail Traffic Management System. ERTMS will bring major benefits. So these are big benefits of ERTMS. Let me write that down. ERTMS. Let's continue. Reduce costs and improve the overall quality of rail transport. So that's interoperability with ERTMS. The other one, international rail freight operations, where you have the apps called X-Rail. Or www.xrail.eu. That would be good to see. Is an alliance of 7 European rail freight operators, providing shippers with an integrated wagon load solution across 12 countries, centered on Germany and stretching from Scandinavia in the north to Italy in the south. At least 420 customer locations are served, with the intention of increasing coverage to include far more customers. Key ICT features that enhance automation and transparency include. Hey, before we leave this, I'd like to highlight this point, that the role of ICT for rail freight in the single European railway system are two. One is interoperability, and the other one is rail freight operations. When we say interoperability, we are talking about connectedness, unified signaling, and train speed control. So this is the ERTMS. And when we say freight operations or international rail freight operations, it is an alliance of 7 European rail freight operators, providing shippers with an integrated wagon load solution. Okay, and with the intention of increasing coverage to include far more customers. And what are the key ICT features to support all of this? Number one is trip planning options, and number two, capacity booking, track and trace, customer notification of which wagons will arrive at the next day, delay alerts, recalculated estimated arrival times in case of delay, and key performance indicators to measure service quality, monthly analysis to identify root causes of delay for individual customer. Finally, you have the third and final example, is the concept of an online rail freight exchange, or ORFE. ORFE, online rail freight exchange. That was developed as part of the EU-funded Code 24 project, which focused on the key Rotterdam to Genoa rail freight corridor. Before we end this, I'd like to highlight one last slide. In terms of the freight and logistics data models, it is very important that we are monitoring the following. We would like to monitor the carrier, the charges. Carrier would mean the person in charge who has the business. Charges, commodity type, documentation, insurance and claims, intermodal transit, packaging, and containerization. Intermodal means you would like to know a certain shipment number, how does it disaggregated and aggregated again. There should be a trace for that. And then packaging, containerization, routing, security, services, shipment consolidation, shipment location, transaction, third-party support, transit location tracking, and warehousing and storage. So these are the data models that are very important in the identification of where you might find these information, and these data models to help you improve the railway system. Okay, so we end here, and that's it.